Hi, I'm Lauren Grace, host of the Afterlight Podcast, mindset and manifestation coach and medium. With over 20 years in self-development, I specialize in empowering people like you to unlock your inner power and live the life you want. Drawing from my background in radio, online platforms, events, and business management, I offer comprehensive training in mindset, business strategies, and personal growth. My goal is simple: to help you realize your full potential and thrive in both business and life. My holistic approach to coaching and teaching sets me apart as I incorporate practical strategies, actionable steps, and spiritual insights in all I do. As a medium, I can connect with higher guidance and deliver messages that resonate deeply with your soul, guiding you towards clarity, healing, and empowerment. I'm dedicated to creating a supportive environment where you can explore your aspirations, overcome challenges, and step into your highest potential. Together, we'll embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, growth, and lasting change. The journey ahead is yours to shape. Join me today and begin your journey towards a more empowered and fulfilled life. Find out more at laurengraceinspirations.com. Hello, how's it going? Lauren Grace here. Welcome. Just thought I would jump on live for a little bit of a inspirational moment, I guess you could say. Would love to do a card of the day for you, or maybe a card to even set you up for the rest of the week. I'd love to as well answer a little bit of Q&A. So if you've got any questions about mindset, manifestation, spirituality, or business, I would love to answer them for you today, and also let you know that I've just launched my new program called Soul Accelerator, and it's a 6-month intensive coaching program with me. I am your coach, I am your trainer, I'm your cheerleader, and I am going to be assisting you in reconnecting with your soul, reconnecting with your heart, and manifesting your desired life. So I thought I would kick off today with a Queen of the Moon Oracle. So this is like a card of the day. And of course, I've got a card that has just flown out at me. That's always a good sign. It means spirit is in the room. Here we go. So what I'd love for you to do is I'd love you to take a moment. Let's just take a breath together, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and in through the nose and out through the mouth. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to think of a question that you may have, or a little bit of guidance that you may be looking for, or maybe just be open to a message from spirit. And sometimes what I find is that when we actually don't direct our messages, or we don't give it a specific theme, that we actually get the answer that we've been looking for. So here is your card. Your card is resistance. And isn't it funny? I actually didn't even see what card it was before I suggested that we take that breath. Very often when we get any mentions of resistance, any mentions of us holding on to outcomes, that's always a really good sign and a really good indication that we do need to actually take a breath, arrive in the moment, and let go. I've used this affirmation many times before, and if you haven't heard it, I'd love to share it with you. And it goes like this: I cast over my burdens to the Christ light within, and I go free. Or you could also say, I surrender this situation, I surrender this outcome, I surrender this insert to the universe, I let go. And I feel that that's a really appropriate affirmation for this beautiful card here, which we have, which is called resistance. And this card here is card number 25. 2 + 5 is a 7. And 7 is all about the 7th chakra, which is our crown chakra. But it's a lot about connecting to our purpose, connecting to our higher self. And very often when we are resisting we're very often getting in our own way. You see, our higher self, our angels, our spirit guides are there to guide us, to alert us and let us know when we are on track and when we are not. And the way that I use that is I use my emotions and my feelings to really guide me and let me know whether or not I am essentially on the path of divine order, on my path of desire, of my wishes fulfilled or not. And for me, that shows up by feeling joyful, feeling ease, feeling peace, feeling happy. And when I'm not on that path, it shows up to me as resistance, restrictions, challenges, anxiety, fears, and worries. And so the message in this card is really to encourage you to look where you are living your life in resistance, where you are resisting something. Are you resisting change? Are you resisting a new idea? Are you resisting a pivot? Are you resisting new information? You know, when we look at having a growth mindset, when we look at opening up our mind to the potential of something that we may not even understand right now, what we do is we allow the universe to help us. We stop getting in our own way. You know, that whole idea of how, everything happens when it's supposed to and not when we say it's supposed to. Well, this is true in this situation as well. The thing is this, is that sometimes what we desire is not as good as it can get. Sometimes the thing that we desire is just the tip of the iceberg. And when we can step off and we can get out of our own way, and when we can jump out off that cliff and we can trust spirit to catch us, which they will all the time, then we set ourselves up for this success that we want, this desired outcome that we wish for. And one thing I've talked about recently, and I was learning this actually in this fabulous book called A Happy Pocket Full of Money, was around the concept of how when we use words like desire, when we use words like need and want, that actually tells the universe that we lack something, right? And one of the challenges I see with a lot of people when they're not manifesting the type of life that they want or the outcomes that they want is very often they're focusing on what they do not have, as opposed to focusing on what they do have. And that can start with us shifting and changing our words from want and need to desire and intend to and wish for. And in fact, I was lying in bed last night and I was thinking about some things that I'd like to desire and wish for. And I was just saying to the universe, I intend for this and this and this to happen in this way. And I saw it in my imagination happening easily and happening with grace and happening with simplicity and joy. And that's the thing, is that when we can learn to get out of our own way and to stop that resistance, that we really can step into what we are entitled to, which is abundance, health, laughter, and love. And a shameless plug here, in my new program, Soul Accelerator, we are going to be doing all of those things. We're going to be looking at our resistance. We're going to be looking at the opportunities for us to say yes to opportunity, desire, and intention, to really give yourself that opportunity to dream big, to show up for yourself in the way that you've always wanted to. And one thing that I notice is that as I grow in love with myself, and not in an ego way, and I find it very interesting, even saying in love with myself, there's sort of, there could be this connotation or this misrepresentation that it's an egoic thing, and it's not. What it is, it's a compassion. It's an understanding. It's a support. It's a higher awareness of going, the human Lauren is doing the best that she can, and that's okay. And growing in love for self and growing in compassion for self and understanding that we truly do the best we can when we are, living life. And as we learn, we do better. And as we know better, we do better. And sometimes our best isn't as good as it's going to be tomorrow or as good as it was yesterday, let's say. And so it's about showing that compassion and that love and that understanding for yourself as you might your child or your pet or your friend or your mother or your father or your cousin, your sister, your brother, etc. It's about showing yourself that same courtesy, that same understanding, that same nurturing. And one of the things that I've found that really is assisting me in this journey for myself is really just to give myself a break sometimes, to see the lighter side of life, you know? I saw this quote one time on Instagram and I just love it. It's so funny. It goes, "Yikes. Oh well, there's always tomorrow." And I just think that is such a cool way of looking at it. A way of looking at it like, oh well, there's always tomorrow. And we know tomorrow never comes, but at the same time, what's the sense in carrying this burden alongside with me, right? And that's the same for you. So, a couple of questions here. What are some good ways to turn negative thoughts around? So, as you know, I am a mindset and a manifestation coach, and I do love to assist people in mastering their mindset, which you would know potentially. I have my beautiful 21-day challenge to assist you with that. But one of the things that I use to turn negative thoughts around is I actually focus on something that I'd like to bring about in my life that is the opposite of the negative thoughts that I continue to perpetuate. So, for example, if I were to say over and over and notice myself saying that I'm a failure or I'm fat or I'm stupid or something along those lines, that I would figure out what is the opposite of that. And then I would really do my best to invite that affirmation in as often as possible. And this is the cool thing, is that when we learn to do that and to invite that affirmation in on a regular basis, we start to become that. And it starts to become this background, I don't want to say noise, but this background sound, this background jingle, this background song that we play that really is actually uplifting us and supporting us. The average person thinks between 60,000 and 80,000 thoughts a day. And so when we can be aware of the negative thoughts we're having, the positive thoughts that we'd like to think instead, and then inviting them in consciously. For example, maybe right now saying to yourself, I am enough. 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 Over and over and over again, we start to make that our reality. I love that question. Thank you. It's another one. How can I keep myself motivated and focus on my long-term goals? It's such a good question. One of the things that I like to recommend when people are looking at goal setting is really looking at breaking down your goals into bite-sized pieces, looking at how you're going to actually action these goals, looking at how you're going to measure them, making sure that you have a time allocation in which to achieve the goal so that you can really work towards it, but breaking it down into bite-sized pieces and then doing one step at a time. A lot of people have challenges with overwhelm when they are really looking at the outcome of what they want and they're not looking at the step that they need to take right now. And sometimes what that does, it actually creates inaction, actually stops people from making it a step right now into the direction of where they want to go, because what they're actually doing is they're focused so far ahead on all of the things that they need to do in the future that they're forgetting that if they take one step right now towards their goal, towards their desires, that it's actually going to get that much closer the more that they take those small little steps. The other thing that I always like to recommend to people is to keep yourself motivated and focused on your long-term goal, is to really get clear on why you're working towards that. What is the thing that you stand to gain on the other side of that goal? Why are you building this particular endeavor, this business? Why are you doing this training? Why are you going to the gym? Why are you doing that? What is it about that that's driving you? And when we can remember the outcomes that we're looking for, that can help us motivate. That can help motivate us on those days when we feel like it's challenging. The other thing is that when we allow our mind to get in our way, when we overthink things, we actually allow fear to set in. So if you are somebody who's wanting to get into a new habit, for example, it's really advantageous to just go ahead and get started right now and just do it, as opposed to thinking about it, planning it, really kind of taking too long with it, because that allows that fear to pop in and that allows those challenges to creep in, which really can stop us and can help us with help us lose motivation. And so that's my question to that. My dog came in the middle of that question. That's why I got a little bit distracted for just a second. Okay, so I'm happy to answer one more question here. How can I get in tune with my higher self or divine guidance? That's such a good question. Thank you. And this is something that we're going to be going over as well in Soul Accelerator. And how you can tune in with your higher self or your divine guidance is actually following joy. Following joy. It's following those feelings that feel good. It's looking for those little inspirational moments, those ideas that pop into your mind. It's saying yes to concert invitations, or going out for coffee, or taking something that's a little bit out of the norm potentially, and saying yes to these opportunities. That's when we really start to align ourselves with our divine guidance and our higher self. As long as we're being true to ourselves and we're saying yes to the things that serve us, that is how we're going to continue to build that connection. Another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pay attention to how you receive intuitive information. So do you receive information from hearing songs popping into your head, ideas popping in? Do you potentially see visions? Do you see little movies that might show up, or get intuitive hits in that way, using your imagination, for example? Do you feel things? Do you feel impressions? Do you go into a room and feel a certain way, such as I'm supposed to be here right now, or I'm not supposed to be here? And then there's other clairs as well. And these are clairs we'll be covering off in Soul Accelerator. But when we understand how we receive information, that's another really strong and powerful way of learning to connect with your higher self and your inner guidance. So I'm going to wrap up now with one more card for you. So again, if you are watching and listening at home, thank you very much for your great questions. I am live on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. And I'm going to go ahead now and pull a card for you. And this is just for you wherever you are in space and time. And if you're watching right now, there might be a small little message for you hidden within a long statement. So just look out for that. You'll know it when you feel your heart alight, when you go, that was for me. And what is the card? The card is Earth, and this card says Earth, and it also says home. And it's card number 15, and 1 + 5 is 6. 6 is all about family. It's all about love, but it's also coming around the corner, seeing things clearly, connecting with our intuition, connecting with our hearts. And when we see this woman here and she's holding herself, it looks as though she's giving herself a hug, and she's just really being comfortable with where she is. That's a big part about what I believe the whole point of life is, to really come home to ourselves, to feel at home in our hearts, to connect with our souls, and to really know that where we are is perfect and who we are is perfect. And there is nothing wrong with us, nothing that needs fixing, and that we are the ones we have been waiting for. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm going live now. I'm aiming to go live pretty much every day. So I hope that you can catch me again. Again, my name is Lauren Grace. I'm a mindset and manifestation coach, medium, and host of the Afterlight Podcast. And if you'd like to join me for a 6-month intensive where I'm going to guide you in reconnecting with your heart, reconnecting with your soul, I would love for you to join me for Soul Accelerator. And also happy to do a free discovery call with you as well. If you want to have any questions answered to see whether or not this program is right for you, all the details can be found on my website at laurengraceinspirations.com. Thank you very much for being here, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Lauren Grace, host of the Afterlight Podcast, mindset and manifestation coach and medium. With over 20 years in self-development, I specialize in empowering people like you to unlock your inner power and live the life you want. Drawing from my background in radio, online platforms, events, and business management, I offer comprehensive training in mindset, business strategies, and personal growth. My goal is simple: to help you realize your full potential and thrive in both business and life. My holistic approach to coaching and teaching sets me apart, as I incorporate practical strategies, actionable steps, and spiritual insights in all I do. As a medium, I can connect with higher guidance and deliver messages that resonate deeply with your soul, guiding you towards clarity, healing, and empowerment. I'm dedicated to creating a supportive environment where you can explore your aspirations, overcome challenges, and step into your highest potential. Together, we'll embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery, growth, and lasting change. The journey ahead is yours to shape. Join me today and begin your journey towards a more empowered and fulfilled life. Find out more at laurengraceinspirations.com.